Download the BCSN Plus app today.
Well, just as the Detroit Tigers swept the Cleveland Guardians this past weekend, the Mud Hens took 4 of 6 from the Columbus Clippers. So Detroit kind of dominating Cleveland on a couple different levels this week.
Not only that, did Detroit not only win 3 games in Cleveland, Mark? I believe they did. The Mud Hens went down and won 3 games in Columbus.
Absolutely. And pretty high drama in those games, as well as the Mud Hens' 9th inning comebacks to win on both Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, they did. They saved their best for last. It started with the quick game on Saturday where it looked like we were going to be done in an hour and a half until we got to the 8th inning. Columbus gets the homer. They take the lead. Mud Hens come back with a terrific top of the ninth to regain. They never even led. It was 0-0. And then Sunday to do the same thing. All of a sudden, here you go. Looks like you're going to lose this game. Nuh-uh. They said, no, we are going to win today. And they did so in great fashion. They used 9 pitchers in that game, Mark. It was a full bullpen day. And the last one being Drew Summers, who shut the door down after the Mud Hens got the 3-run homer in the top half of the inning.
Yeah, that home run coming from Hao-Yu Lee. Now, earlier this week, there was a list of the top 10 Tigers prospects in the farm system. Lee, the only one on that list in Toledo, which is kind of a good sign because a lot of those guys who had been on that list in years past have promoted up to the major leagues. So Lee is kind of the best prospect in Toledo right now.
Yeah, I would certainly say that. And when you look at the way he hits the baseball and the way he's coming around at the plate consistently, he's starting to get a little bit more of that. Remember, he started off a little sluggish there in March and April, picked it up, had a big month of May, kind of plateaued a little bit to kind of settle in June. Into July now, he's trying to find that little bit of consistency, and we're starting to see that from Hao-Yu Lee. Where he's not going big valleys or real high peaks. He's just kind of evening it out a little bit, which is great to see for Hao-Yu Lee. He's a guy who hits the ball really hard. He's got a great hard hit rate. His exit velocities are some of the best that we'll see in AAA. So, those things, when they translate for him to be hits, he could be really good.
Tigers organization having success up and down the chain, and with that comes some promotions. And a little bit of a splash on Sunday as 3 of the top prospects for the Tigers, Max Clark, Kevin McConaughey, and Jose Bersenio, all promoted from A to AA to Erie. It will be interesting to see what type of a trickle-up effect that has for the Mud Hens roster. Perhaps we could see the former Rocket Chris Myers coming back to Toledo. He was the Eastern League Player of the Month last month for Erie.
Boy, it certainly would be good and warranted for him. It would be really cool to see him, obviously, in Toledo, as you mentioned, the former Rocket. He's had a terrific season, obviously culminated with that Player of the Month honors for him down in Erie. Erie's got a really loaded roster right now, and it just got even more loaded with those 3 guys coming up. So we'll see. There's probably got to be some moves. Mud Hens don't play until Tuesday, so we can, obviously they can wait to make those moves. But it is one of those things where you would figure there's got to be some, as you mentioned, trickle up. And it's going to be interesting to see how those 3 guys adjust to AA. Then from AA, let's see if they even hit AAA and how they can handle going up that ladder a little bit further.
Coming off of that 9-game homestand, Hens now on a 9-game road trip. The 3 games in Columbus, and now they're out to Nebraska to take on the Storm Chasers this week.
Yeah, but you know what? They've started it off really well. You go 3-0 to start it. They're closing in on 500. Mark, this was something when the team started off, first 2 road series of the year, they went 2-10. 2-10, 8 games below 500. They're now, if they have a good series in Omaha, they could go into the All-Star break, which isn't an all-star game for AAA, but just a break. They could go into that break maybe above 500 on the road. That would be amazing in a couple of months to turn that around like they have after a torrid, really not very good start at all on the road. And if they can come back home going out of that break, when they get Memphis back at Fifth Third Field, maybe you can get something rolling here in the second half. You have a good series here.
Speaking of the All-Star break, 6 former Mud Hens made it to the Major League Baseball All-Star game. At this point, maybe some more former Hens will be added, but right now 6 former Hens will be playing in Atlanta.
Mark, this is why we say come out, watch the Mud Hens, because you never know who you're going to see at the Major League level next out of Toledo.